So my grandmother died 2 hours ago. Just walk away from her place where her life ended. Why do doctors keep humans alive? Just to keep it alive. Why do we keep humans alive? Why? Why do we want to live? Why do I want to live? It seems like death is definitely one of those moments where the question becomes more active. It seems like, isn't it a question that is always there and that we're always looking for the answer, but not really? That it is a question we avoid, actually trying to do the opposite, escape from it. And maybe deep down we know that we escape from not answering the question, but questioning it. Why do I want to live? And because it's such a difficult question, we avoid it altogether and find cheap substitutions, cheap replacements, temporary coping. And the reality could be that it could happen that the question, that I start to avoid it again. But maybe the fear that I feel when I say that will keep the question alive. Why do we want to live? We don't ask that. We only think we want to, but we don't know why. It should be the question that is actually taught in school. But that will be an illusion to think that will ever be asked anywhere. Seriously. Asking it in a serious manner. Not as a one-time thing. It seems like there's just no urgency behind asking that until there is. And then maybe the question is, how can you make sure there's always urgency behind that one? And I don't think there's really there's certainly no way to fake that urgency. When I say that, I become aware of the thoughts my mind produces. And one of them is that this feeling of feeling fortunate, that I believe to have more urgency than others, and that I'm still young. And in that very thought, there's just so much comparison to others and believing to be better. And when I was walking here in the city, I was looking at others with the same thought. And I became aware of it. I noticed that often happens. It happens a lot. And I don't see it as a bad thing, nor as something good, just as the actual thing that happens. And I don't think that it's always a thought. So, and I think, if I'm speaking honest, I do think right now that thoughts are bad. I can say whatever I want, but right now I do think their belief is that anything that the mind produces is bad, that I must get rid of it. I think that belief is there, and I think that could prevent me from actually getting rid of all those thoughts altogether, even the positive ones. So back to the question, why do I want to live? Is there a point in living, in extending it? But if everything is, if I'm not able to remove the thoughts, then is it even worth prolonging? So when the answer is no, then what is there? Thoughts are invisible, falling on deaf ears, shadowed, unweaponized. What is then there to extend for? Then it becomes a different question, because when that is removed, then what is there left? Immediate thought would be beauty that comes up, but I think that's just another way of the mind to, maybe escape from the question, or to actually search for the positive thing again. What really is there when the whole thoughts are gone? Then everything that I see right now is there, but there wouldn't be an interpretation of it. Or maybe there is. Maybe it is a neutral one, but what does that even mean? a neutral observation, a neutral input. Since every word is smothered by society, then it seems like I can't use any words. But words are also not. They seem to be part of the mind as well, part of its weapons. So then, what really is there? But now there's just so much belief in the idea that it is good for me to think. There is just, like, I would have never questioned that belief, that it is good for me to think. Well, that's obvious, right? But now that I start to get a glimpse of this thing, of this crazy thing that nobody seems to understand, then it becomes a different story. So then what really is there? If there are no thoughts anymore, or maybe there are, but I don't hear them, I don't see them, only when I want to. Because I don't, and maybe that belief is a belief, I don't think there can be no thoughts whatsoever, never again. I think there will be moments where I don't recognize them, and I hear them without wanting to hear them, and therefore I might at certain moments even listen to them. I think those moments can be way less, maybe zero, only when wanted. But then still the question is, what is there? What is there then left to extend for? I don't have the answer, and I'm going to eat. Talk soon. I'm going to eat. It's funny. I'm going to extend life by eating. Alright, talk soon.